We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thính, vì thứ pháp vội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Tịnh chiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như á liêu sanh thoát tư lý khổ đắc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thô Su Chế Đô Yê La Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xế. Nam mô Ta Đắc Tha Tô Già Đa Già La Ha Đề Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Jing Liang, Great Master YongHua, all monks and nuns, and all good advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư và Thượng Nhân Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sư tất cả nhà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the very first day of July 2022. Thank you all for coming to our discussion of the prologue written by Master Jing Liang on the Avatamsaka Sutra. We are right now discussing door number 2, stores and teachings containing the Flower Adornment Sutra, and we're on slide number 15. Okay, glad to have you here. Okay, let's see. Where are we? We are talking about arhatships. Arhatships is the prize for us. When we leave the home life, when we practice chant, we shoot for reaching 4th-stage arhatship. Okay, and we started talking about that. We started talking about to get to 4th-stage arhatship. That's what happens that after you reach worldly dharmas. Like, for example, when you practice Tai Chi or yoga and so forth, those great teachers out there, the great accomplishments out there, they will reach 8th Samadhi. They cannot go high in the 8th Samadhi. Because in order to go high in the 8th Samadhi, you need some special Buddha's wisdom, Buddhist techniques. And so with the Buddhist techniques, we are taught something called view delusions. View delusions are the kind of confusion we experience when we face something, a thing, a person, anything that we're confronted with. We give rise to greed and love. That's a very important concept. I want you all to memorize it whether you are past this first stage hardship or not yet there. Okay? These worldly practitioners, worldly Dharma practitioners, don't know this, the importance of recognizing their problems. Worldly Dharmas encourage greed and love. For example, with our distinguished guest here, the Catholicism, and they laud love, okay, and they praise love. They encourage seeking love. And in Buddhism, we know it's a form of view delusion. Therefore, you keep on seeking love your entire lives, or you seek, let's say, what's an example of greed? Money, yes? Success, yes? Possessions, yes? We keep on hoarding possessions. So those are the habit energies that reinforce our view delusions. When you indulge, when you do something like make more money, okay, and hoard more money, or seek love, okay, then you are reinforcing your view delusion. That's why these people, the non-Buddhists, don't understand that. That's why they got stuck. When the yogis, what are the problem with yogis? Okay, they have a problem of not being able to go beyond eighth samadhi because they're subject to greed and love. Any problems with that? This is a secret. Unless you follow the Buddha's teachings, you're caught up in these things. The non-Buddhist practitioners, no matter who they are, in order for them to go beyond eighth samadhi, they need to be able to deal with their view delusions. Okay, and view delusions are, again, when you face with something called state. Anything is called state. Okay, you give rise to greed or love. Then you are deluded. Then you are confused, meaning that you're operating without wisdom. Your decisions are unwise. Am I making sense? It's not a good time to make decisions, important decisions concerning your lives, if you're operating in the mode of greed, in the mode of love. Oh, I'm in love. Any problems, anyone? This is when what separates the men from the boys. Boys love, men don't. Questions, comments? Why is it so quiet? So, can we agree that we say in America, when we have this important rally of like 5-6 people, and we discover something important, say, down with love, down with greed. We agree on that or no? No, I guess not. Too much to ask of you. Yes, 9.
Master, is love in the 5 desires? I mean, not the 5 desires, but does it fall into the desire realm as well?
Love is desire realm. That's why it's, all these things are still within this world. It keeps you revolving this world. Those are worldly desires. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. How do you love without discernment?
How do you love without what?
Discernment.
With what?
Without discernment.
Discernment? How do you love without discernment? Discernment is natural. Discernment is what you do with your consciousness. You can discern, but you don't have to love. Love is excess. You can perceive, you can say, oh, that's a fan. On a hot day, I love to have a fan on a hot day. It's not necessary, it's just a fan. Okay? It's just a camera. It's just a red car. Only stupid people would want a red car. I mean, no? So how about in the morning when you brush your hair? What is that? View delusion. You love your hair, yes? That's why you should all have a hairdo of Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of England. You see, his hair is, it looks like he never combed his hair. That's a new look. We should have a new Buddhist look. All the hair should be all messed up. Or no hair at all. That's even better. Okay, see that? So there's a difference. When you see something that's normal, you see things, you see dharmas, okay? That's just a response from your sense organs. But you don't need to have greed or love. That's all. So what's the point in being in living if you have no love? If you want to be free from apple, don't love. And someone asked me, how do I free from apple? I just love oranges. See, one less problems. You don't like oranges? Love watermelons. Anyone? Hot day like today? Cold refrigerated watermelon. Okay? So that's all. Yes, 6.
From Vicky, Master, do enlightened people feel love for others?
What?
Do enlightened people feel love for others?
Of course they're supposed to feel love for others. But because they're enlightened. When you are confused, like right now, don't love, not yet. It's premature to love when you still are confused. All right. Any questions here? So the first stage, this is the first stage arhat, meaning the first stage of wisdom you're going to have. This is a special kind of wisdom that worldly people cannot have. And that's why the Hinayana consider first stage arhats to be sages. They have this wisdom, this detachment that we cannot have. That's why they're special people. Yes, 9.
So what about when people call me on the phone and then it's over and they say, well, I love you. I'm supposed to be like, well, okay.
I love you too. That's what you do. In America, I love you too is very cheap. I love you? Me too. I love you too. If you don't, you'll be in trouble. This is something about English in America here. When someone tells you, I love you, you better say, I love you too, immediately. If you don't, forget it. Find another person. A new mom or new dad or new girlfriend, new wife. Okay? Agree, disagree. This is our American culture. Okay? I love you too, yes. Okay, so you see, it takes a special kind of person to be able to say, so what? Yeah, you're cute, so what? You're cute, but I don't love you. Okay? Or you give them a hug and then toss them down, throw them under the bus and say, I like you, but I don't love you. You see? Yeah. And that's funny thing, in a funny way, it's wisdom. Is loving your children okay? Yes or no? No, it's still a view delusion. Okay? So now you see why it's much easier for us left home people. When we cultivate, we don't have a family, so we get rid of a lot of view delusions naturally. Okay? Whereas lay people, you indulge in those things. That's important to you. For left home people, we're in an environment with a form of practice, a lifestyle that minimizes greed and love. So far, so good. Next. Second stage Arhat. Once you get the first stage, you go to the second stage. And you should feel so lucky I'm explaining this to you. Because once when I reach 8th Samadhi, I was asking myself, what the hey? What do I do now? Master Shivana explained to us, to his disciples in English, at least the one that's translated into English, or in Chinese I've read so far. What do I do beyond 8th Samadhi? Okay? And one day, a bodhisattva told me, now you practice the first stage arhatship. I said, is that right? So I started paying attention to greed and love. And still hasn't worked yet. Second stage Arhat, Sakadagaman. They sever the thought delusions. And again, I'm reminding you, never mind about 88, the number, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anything you find out, anything that's in a form of greed or love, that's a view delusion. Anything that gives rise to discriminations, okay? That's thought delusion. Because you're confused about the principles, that's why you give rise to discrimination. Okay? You discriminate. That's a thought delusion. How about that? Does it help? Think about it. You discriminate against Jews, against pale faces, against LGBTQ, against men. I mean, how could you? Any sort of discrimination is a thought delusion. And you're confused. That's all it means. Yes, 7.
What about when I feel close to breaking a vow and I correct myself? Is that a view delusion?
When you're close to breaking a vow, you
discriminate. You go, no.
No, that's a good discrimination. That helps. Okay? Yes, Mr. Catholic.
When someone, for example, identify someone as a man or a woman, would that be considered discrimination too?
What?
If, for example, says she's a man and she's a woman, is that considered discrimination?
No, sir. That's discernment. Discernment is not the same as discrimination. Discrimination involves rejection. You see? I prefer this, I reject that. There's discrimination here. Okay? Whereas this is a man, this is a woman, there's no rejection at all. Does it help? Say, I don't love God, I don't love Buddha. That's thought delusion, clearly. Does it help? Okay? This is why we Buddhists say we love Buddhas, we also love God. We have no discrimination. Who's wiser? Buddhists. Okay, not funny anymore. I guess it's getting old. Question from JMT. Hello?
Master, can you hear?
Yeah.
I have a question. What is the difference between view delusion and talk delusion?
Yes. Ask.
Yeah, what is the difference between view delusion and talk delusion?
I just explained to you. Okay? View delusion is when you see something, you hear something, you touch something, you say, oh, I like this. I love this. I want this. Okay? That's a view delusion. Thought delusion involves discrimination. Okay? You discriminate. I say, I prefer that red car over the other red car. That's a thought delusion. That's discrimination. Okay? When you don't discriminate, there is no thought delusion at all. Does it help? There's a certain progression. You cannot say, I'm going to go immediately to the second stage Arhat. I will not discriminate anymore. Okay? It doesn't work like that, because before you can take care of your thought delusions, you have to take care of your view delusions. You have to traverse that. Yeah? You have to get rid of your view delusions first. Okay? Before you can work on your thought delusions. That's another difference. Yes, was there a question? All right. So the key here is that if you look at yourself, we're not talking about others, whether others discriminate, others want this, others want that, others are greedy, and so forth. It's none of your business. It doesn't matter. It's about you. Okay? If you look inside yourself, you have greed, you have love, okay? Then you are deluded. You have no wisdom. You have no transcendental wisdom. You're still caught in this world. Whereas if you get to the first stage Arhat, okay, you reach the level in 7 more lifetimes. Okay, you go to heaven, you go down 7 times. Okay, you go up to the heavens, you go down, and be in between, who knows where you go to. They could go down to the hells until they get to the heaven again, 2nd time, and go down to the human realm. Okay, and so forth. You go up to the heaven, go down human realms. Okay, on the 7th time, you reach 4th stage Arhat, naturally. That's the nature of the blessings of the first stage Arhat. Okay, that's why it's automatic. Once, that's why the Hinayana people consider first stage Arhats to be sages, because it's automatic for them now. Okay? Yes, there's still a chance they can fall to the hells and so forth, but it's about, they count 7 times from heavens to human, heavens to human. Okay? On the 7th time, they will become 4th stage Arhat. They have real wisdom now. Yes, Daniel.
So how can someone basically eliminate view delusions and stop the rise to greed and love?
How do you stop being greedy? How to stop being loving? I don't know. You tell me. I haven't done it yet, so what the heck? You asked the wrong guy. How do you stop loving? How do you stop being greedy? in Buddhism is something called what? 小欲具足. Lessen your desires and no contentment. You have to start with that. Meaning, want less. You have 5 cars, that's enough. Don't buy another one. Okay? Yeah. So you work on your greed. You have 1 wife, that's enough. It helps. People have been accusing me, complaining, I'm not advocating marriage. I do, because without it, we have no more Buddhist disciples. Okay? Yeah. And I love babies. 4 babies, that's all I ask. Don't be greedy. 4 is enough. Yes, and I.
Masterji, the first stage arhat, do they know that, like, it's premeditated? Oh, I'm going to go to heaven. I'm going to fall down, and then one day I'm going to be 4th stage arhat in like 100 years.
I'm sorry?
Is it like premeditated? Like, if they go up there, like, boom, 7 times, and then the 7th time they know that that's their goal?
No. It's a natural. The nature, the blessings of the Shrotaapana is that they, in 7 lifetimes automatically, they will become 4th stage arhat. No one can stop them. The only trick is they need to go back to human realm. If they go down to different realms, tough luck. That's the only trick the Hinayana people don't explain to their followers. So it's not, you go to 1st stage arhat and you screw up, you fall, tough luck. Okay? You fall down the hells and stay there for a long, long time. Okay? And see, remember, 7 times, right? So it's still nothing yet. You have to go back to human realm. So it doesn't matter. You have to go back before you get to 4th stage arhat. Go ahead, conk. Now people are interested in going to 1st stage arhatship.
단톡방에 올라온 광호님 질문입니다. 견옥 사옥이 동시에 작용될 수도 있는지요?
스님 안 들려요. 상호 스님, we cannot hear you. 지금도 안 들리는데요, 스님.
Is it possible that view delusion and thought delusion work together?
Yes. Okay? For example, view delusions. I've low red cars. Thought delusion. Not that red car, the other one. The nicer one. No scions. Is it clear? I want the real deal. Okay, yes, anyone else? Yes, 7.
How do I feel content?
10 cars? Ten wives? What 10? Okay, so to reduce greed and love, you deal with you reduce your greed, your desires, and you be content with what you have. So that's the Buddhist solution for greed and love. Don't be greedy by having few desires. Don't indulge in desires. Okay? So instead of having 10 cars, be happy with 9. And the next time, be happy with 8. Next lifetime, happy with 7, and so forth. If you're in a hurry, from 10 to 0. If you're not in a hurry, you cut back slowly. You create a habit of doing that. Okay? And then between, in conjunction with having few desires, you're happy with what you have. So you know contentment. You say, that's great to have 4 children. Let's not have 5. Let's have 1 master, not 2. That kind of thing, you know what I mean? Jewel Conk.
네, 광원님 이어서 질문입니다. 폭은 5온 색수 상행식 중 견옥은 세곤 수온의 망상 경계, 사옥은 상온 행온 식온의 망상 경계, 이렇게 5온의 층차에 따라 구분 지어질 수 있을까요?
스님 안 들립니다. No, we cannot hear you.
Is that my alarm?
So we have 5 skandhas. Among them, can I think the view delusion is the form and feeling, and then thought delusion is thought activate in consciousness? Can I understand like this?
No, it's too complicated. Yeah, there's some things you can do, some of that. But at this stage, what I'm teaching you is think about greed and love. It's much easier to think about greed and love and think about discriminations, because that's what we do every day. Our lives is about being greedy and loving and being in love. And our smarts is in discrimination. Okay? So those are very common delusions we see in people. The worldly training, the worldly education makes you more greedy and more discriminating. That's the problem is. So that's why, in other words, worldly knowledge, including those who go to universities to get a PhD in Buddhism, are not learning about having less greed or fewer discriminations. They're learning more. They become more greedy and they're becoming more discriminatory. That's all. That's why I'm not impressed with those worldly people, those worldly degrees. Buddhism is about your wisdom. It's not about your knowledge. Knowledge is cheap. You can get it. You can buy it. You cannot buy wisdom. Okay? Second stage, Arhat. Is you have some discrimination, some thought delusions. You sever some thought delusions. Okay? And that's how you get the second stage, Arhat. And then in order to get to third stage, Arhat, you sever the remaining thought delusions. Okay? That's how difficult they are. Thought delusion is very difficult to eliminate. Your discriminations is very difficult to eliminate because you are too smart. You're way too smart. And that's why you're stupid. That's why you're deluded. And sometimes we use a harsh word like stupid because we tell you, but you won't listen. That's why you're so stupid. Not much that can be done, except repeating it and repeating it until one day you get it. Okay? So you see how difficult it is to stop discriminations. It takes 2 stages, second stage to third stage, arhats, before you can eliminate the discrimination. Okay? That's when you have some wisdom. And then eventually you get to 4th stage arhat, which is extremely difficult. You see how difficult it is for us to be less greedy and get rid of love. It's very difficult, okay, in our world, because we live in this realm here where we are greedy and we advocate loving. Yes? I've been to that vegetarian restaurant called the Love Hut. Very famous. You know, they're everywhere. I went to Seoul, I saw the Love Hut. And if you wanted to eat vegetarian, you have to go there in Gangnam. We went there. We're not above love and greed. Okay? So it's very difficult for us to not be greedy. And it's very difficult for us because we are too smart, always thinking, constantly thinking. That's why we are constantly discriminating. But there's certain types of discrimination that you do, you get rid of, then you get to certify the second stage. And then the much harder types of discriminations, then you can get rid of, you get to third stage arhats. Okay? Okay. Any questions about this? Okay. Now, the first stage arhats, okay, as I said, they will need to come back to human realm. They go to heaven and come back human realm 7 times before they automatically certify the 4th stage arhat. Okay, that's automatic. Once you get first Shrotaapana, 1st stage arhat, you are guaranteed to get 4th stage. When? We don't know, but it's going to happen. No one can stop you. Nothing can stop you. It's a matter of time. So far, so good. Second stage, okay, arhats is called once returner, meaning that they go to heavens, come back, 35 to 4th stage arhat. Okay? You only have to come back once. 3rd stage arhat, they are non-returner, meaning they go to the heavens, they cultivate there for a long, long time. Right? So there's a heaven in desire realm that's reserved only for 3rd stage arhats. No one else can go there except you, unless you are 3rd stage arhats or higher. Okay? You go there and you live for a long, long, long time. And you go there, you live there for a long, long time, you certify 4th stage arhat. That's it. That's why they call non-returner. Meaning, you know, if you love someone who's a 3rd stage arhat, forget it. You're not going to see that person again. Okay? Any questions? That's why they call non-returners. Okay? And 4th stage arhat is 0 returner. It's a 4th stage arhat. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Master. When a person gets to the 2nd stage of arhat, does it mean that the person doesn't give rise to greed and love anymore, or it's just that happen only when the person is in samadhi?
Only when they're in samadhi. When they're out of samadhi, they're still greedy and loving like hell. But the difference is that once they realize they are greedy and they're subject to love, they can stop it. whereas other people cannot. For example, they say, oh, look at that. I want that lotto ticket. I'm greedy, right? And worldly people say, if I don't get that lottery ticket, I'd be so depressed. Anyone? I feel so inferior. So far, so good? It's because the greed will make them confused. If you are a first stage arhat, you can stop that and say, okay, that super lotto ticket, forget it. I don't want it. Master can have it. Drop in a donation box. Okay? Don't be stupid, okay? It's stupid enough that you want money, but don't be more stupid by throwing money away. Better throw it in a donation box. Just a suggestion, okay? Don't, there's limitations. So you see, that's the difference. They may be greedy, but they can stop it. They can get out of that mode. Whereas people below, they cannot help themselves. That's the difference. And this is a confusion that I had when I first read about these things. Is it, how come you're a first stage arhat and yet you're so greedy still? It's two different things. You may be greedy, but you can stop being greedy, whereas I cannot. That's a difference. Does it make sense? Does it help? You see, this is why people keep on telling me, why did Master say that she's in second stage arhat, and yet she discriminates like hell. She doesn't like Jews. She doesn't like Arabs. She doesn't like black people. Doesn't like white people. Okay? So she cannot possibly be second stage arhat. No, not at all. You can be second stage and you still discriminate like crazy until you realize you're discriminating, then you can stop it yourself. It's that easy. Because if you don't want it, you can stop it. Once you're aware, you're confused, you can stop it. Is that clear? Now you understand why I tell people, you are second stage, oh, you are third stage, you are fourth stage, because now comes the real lesson, okay? You're second stage, you're not supposed to discriminate. You discriminate, you're in trouble. Cut it out. That's all. Whereas if you don't even know that you are second stage arhat, you discriminate. This is what you do. You've been doing that your entire life. You understand now why I tell you, oh, he's second stage, she's a fourth, she's, and so forth. It's because it helps you. Now you realize you can handle it. You can handle your confusion. Before you could not. Before I tell you, you should stop discriminating. You say, how could I? It's unfair. This is absurd. Master, you're so unfair. Okay? When I told someone, you fourth stage arhat, and she still has this urge to eat. And I said, okay, I feel like eating, so let's eat. But I reminded her, you're fourth stage arhat. She still eats. It's not my problem. You understand? A fourth stage arhat, I say, I'm a fourth stage arhat. I can stop eating when I feel like it. At will. No one can force me to eat. I force myself to eat. No damn ghost can tell me to eat. Are you kidding me? But they're stupid. I watch them, I laugh. Oh, you're so stupid. I've been giving you clues, but you don't pay attention, do you? That's the difference. Okay? And the first and second and third are called the 有学, and they still have learning. They still have things to learn. Fourth stage arhat is 无学, meaning they have no more to learn. Okay, that's the distinction in Buddhism. I'm not sure why. I feel that fourth stage arhat pretty stupid themselves. So they have a lot to learn. But, the Buddha chose you call them no learning, beyond learning. I respect that. It just happened because I know too many fourth-stage arhats. They have so much to learn. They need to learn about tacos, learn about, pizza. I mean, what the hey? There's so much to learn. Anyway, but Buddha says they're beyond learning. I don't get it. Maybe someday I will. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. Is that fourth stage arhat that, or which level that they can really start working by themselves, that they don't need a good knowing advisor?
No, it's too stupid. Because how do you get from first to second stage? On your own? Seriously? You don't even know you're discriminating. How are you going to get there by yourself? There's one way. Would you like to learn that way so that I can be rid of you? Huh? Would you like to learn? I've been watching people practice. This is so much fun. You guys, come to a place like this, and I know, he's a 6th dhyana, he's a 8th dhyana, that's a second stage, that's a fourth stage, I won't tell you, and so forth. And you just sit there, Master is trying to impress people. Impressing you idiots? Seriously? What glory is there to be adored and loved by 10,000 idiots? Seriously. I'm not God. I mean, I need 10 billion people to love me. I mean, that's a God. I mean, it's a God complex. Who cares? But seriously, have you ever had to put up with an idiot that hangs around you all the time? Master, give me. Oh, Master, help. Master, my mother needs help. Master, my father needs help. Master, my son needs help. Imagine you have 10,000 people doing that to you all day. Pretty soon you're, please, go away. And that's when you wish you have the spiritual penetration, and you say, and it disappears. You blow. You understand? Seriously. This is why I don't understand about people who want to be famous and, like such people. You look at them and say, please don't love me. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I don't mean to be insulting, okay? It's only because you don't get it. So the point here is that it's so much fun because you see these people and they have different levels around you. They're different levels. So what am I telling you? What's the implicit message here? Why not you? How come they're there and you're not there? Why not you? What's the matter with you? Right? No? Never crossed your mind? You look at a person, really? A fourth stage arhat? Seriously? I can do better than that. Look at her. My God. I don't see what Master sees in her. I mean, she's so, So what do? You go near. Like Billy, he will come near you and say, hey, how are you today? Can I bring you some water? Okay. And then you know what? You know what he's doing? He's actually watching you. He said, and pretty soon he gets on your good side and said, how did you do it? Huh? I see you so, are you for real? Do you feel any different? And I say, yeah, I feel different. I feel so much better. I feel so much happier. Okay, I get much better with my daughter. Okay, and every time we fight now, I beat the heck out of her. That's all that matters to her. So then Billy said, oh, really? So what did you do? See, now you see why? Master said, look at that. Okay? You go near them and say, hey, what did you do? What did you do? How did you get there? That's what it's meant to be. Okay? Because, trust me, don't believe the Catholics and Christians. If they're there, so can you. If they got there, so can you. So can anyone. It's not only reserved for certain people. Anyone can get there. Everyone can get there. That's Buddhist teachings. Everyone has equal opportunity. Men, women, child, everyone. Pale face, yellow face, black face, red face, don't matter. Ain't no stopping you except yourself. All right? Does it help? Oh God, I've been waiting for 16 years. No one ever asked me this. If she can do it, if she's there, so can I. Why not me? You can find out, So, for example, in some of them, like I used to have some of them who shook a lot. Okay, some were stupid enough to use a head and hit against the statues and so forth, and still survive. Okay, you look at them and say, really? you, what's so special about you? They did something that brought them there. That's my message to you. So you go and collect the information, you see there's a common denominator. You have to figure it out. I'm not going to tell you. I did you a favor by telling you who they are and where they are already. And those losers over there, they don't know where you are. They don't know where they are. That's why they complain. Why you tell us so? You bragging. It's not true. Tell me I'm wrong. You don't know. Shut up. Any problems? Okay, now, this fourth stage art here is cool. I highly recommend that you get the fourth stage arhat. The closer you are to the fourth stage arhat, you know what? It feels damn good. It's nothing like it. Okay? It's fantastic. That's when you get the fourth stage arhat, then you say, I made it. This is fantastic. And then that's when the fun really begins in cultivation. The closer you are to fourth stage arhat, but you're lower, you find life more fun. Beyond fourth stage arhat, it becomes fascinating. Okay? Questions, comments? And again, why not me is what we should all be asking yourselves. There's so many of the people around you are there already. Why didn't you make it? What did you do wrong? What did you do right? Find out for yourself. Yes, 9.
Master, is it fun for them because they see like how stupid everybody is, because it's a level of wisdom and you can be fascinated by the stupidity?
It's fun because you see how stupid people are. It's so ludicrous. It's like a joke. Their lives is like a joke. You don't need to tell jokes to make them laugh. They look at you and say, every one of you is a joke. Don't you call that? You don't call? Wouldn't you say it's fun to look at you? See, you look everywhere. It's so much fun. Because how a joke people's lives are. And anything else. But that's the fun part of it. And then they struggle a lot and they go a little bit higher, and that's when it becomes fascinating. And then they get there, it becomes wonderful, wonderbar. Okay? So far, so good? Highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. And you can get there too yourselves. Okay? And today, my message to you is that why not you? Do not settle for less. Fourth stage art is your first major milestone. Okay? Shoot for it. It's well worth it. Anything below that, you still have a lot to learn. There's so much more you'll need to learn before you're able to really have some real wisdom. All right. Questions, comments? It's fun. The fun really begins when you get closer. You know, when you go beyond 8th samadhi, it becomes more fun already. And you get higher and higher. You can remember the first stage arhat has to go back here 7 times. That's a lot of hardship. And second stage comes back once. See, they have a lot of fun already. Okay, third stage they don't even come back anymore. Okay, and they go up there and they enjoy the heavenly blessings. That's a lot of fun. We're talking fun here, folks. You looking for pleasures? That's what I would recommend. You go for it. Drinking has limits. The fun of a first stage arhat, second stage arhat, third stage arhat is limitless. It's so much fun. Okay? Questions? Consider today as a sales pitch. Okay? And normally we have try to monetize this, but today, give it to you for free. Okay, slide 16. Stores, okay, are containers. Okay, and the Avatamsaka Sutra is in the sutra store. Okay, even though it's a sutra store, it's Avatamsaka Sutra also have connections to the other Vinaya store and Abhidharma store, or the Shastra store, because they're all interconnected. You cannot separate them at all. You cannot have one without the others. Yes, 6.
From Vicky, Master, what can I do to get to 4th stage arhat?
to that's the paying section, sorry. I haven't made up my mind how much to charge you yet. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So, for example, in the Avatamsaka Sutra, the 10 treasuries and some chapters talk about precepts, asking clarification chapters and so forth are about shastras. Okay, so this Avatamsaka Sutra, it talks about the whole bowl of wax. It has direct connections to Vinaya as well as Shastras as well in its contents. 17. When we talked about stores, we talked about the sound hearer store, 2 stores, meaning a sound hearer store, meaning Hinayana, or the Bodhisattva store, or Mahayana. So 2 store mean Hinayana or Mahayana. Okay. Now, from a 2-store perspective, Avatamsaka Sutra belongs to the Mahayana store. Okay, and what it also has that's different from the sound hearer store is that it has the actual teaching. Okay, because the Hinayana store is actually called provisional teaching. And the Buddha felt that his Hinayana disciples don't have enough blessings, don't have enough wisdom to be able to be taught the real truth. So the Buddha taught them some provisional truth, some provisional teaching to help them get the 4th-stage Arhat. And once you get the 4th-stage Arhat, the Buddha meant for them to be taught further so that they can begin to see the real truth, the actual teachings, if you will. So that's why, even though I highly recommend it, you should all try to get the 4th-stage Arhatship. Okay, when you get there, there's no point getting a big head because it's really not a big deal yet in the scope of things. Mahayana teachings, Mahayana training is quite a bit more they need to learn before they have real wisdom. All right? They only have provisional wisdom, not actual wisdom, if you will. Okay? Actual wisdom is a lot more work. But, however, at 4th-stage Arhats, they can be taught. Now they can really be taught because we've been priming them properly. Whereas if you follow Hinayana teaching, there is a caveat. There's a danger of you getting a 4th-stage Arhat or Pratyeka Buddhahood and you stop. It's a very strong temptation to do that. But you notice, in the Mahayana teaching, I tell you about the 4th-stage Arhat, the sound hearer's fruitions. However, when I tell you about them, I also tell you that it's not a big deal at all. Okay? Don't stop. Keep going. Okay? A lot better things are awaiting you. It's fantastic. So far, so good? Next. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, it also has dharmas for the Hinayana practitioners, for them as well. The thinking here I need to stress upon you is that the Avatamsaka Sutra also teaches about, has also provisional teaching, help you get to attain the fruitions of the Arhatship and Pratyeka Buddhahood. However, okay, the difference being that the major difference of your interest is that in Mahayana teaching, you get to those fruitions a lot faster than Hinayana. I see those Hinayana practitioners, I see how hard they work, how much they struggle, and they finally made it there, okay? It's just pitiful to me that it took them that long. It's pitiful to see that, okay? And that's why even when you get to the Mahayana realm, I even discern between Hinayana Mahayana versus Mahayana Mahayana. That's the difference of training as well. My teacher only transferred the Hinayana Mahayana. He didn't really teach Mahayana Mahayana, unfortunately. And that's why they still have some caveats, they still have some drawbacks in the way they approach the cultivation. And their wisdom is still Hinayana colored, meaning self-serving idiots. Dude, they still discriminate, they still, think they're special, they think they're better, they just say, me. That's what Hinayana. Our teacher, Master YongHua, is totally devoid of all those drawbacks. I don't know what's the matter. Yeah. He came here and showed everyone how it's done, and people don't get it. Tough luck. Yes, 9.
Master, you saying like Master YongHua taught your generation the Hinayana Mahayana and
yes.
not the Mahayana?
Yes. The end result is that's all you get. And to me, it's insulting. And it's alarming because Mahayana is not like that. Okay? And there's some serious issues in the approach. But what surprises me is why he didn't fix it. I mean, it's serious issues in the training program, in the way they cultivate. Okay, 19. Teachings. Okay, teachings here are the discrimination, the classifications of different types of teachings in Mahayana. Okay, teachings are methods of study, meaning that what the Buddhas who came to our world, Bodhisattvas and the Sanghas of wisdom came to our world to transmit to us these methods of practices. Okay, and that's why you have the Mahayana teachings, Hinayana teachings, you have the Chan teachings, you have the Pure Land teachings, and so forth. Okay, so these are the specific methods of study, of practice. And for the purpose, and when you learn something, you have to be clear in your head. What are they for? The purpose is to help us leave confusion and leave darkness and unite with brightness and unite with enlightenment or wisdom. Okay, so this is not talking about, not about my confusion. It's about your confusion. If I'm confused, it's my problem. You're confused, that's much bigger problem for you. Okay, so Buddhism is these Buddhist sages, they teach us ways or things to do, to leave confusion ourselves, to destroy our own confusions. Okay, so that's what's interesting about Buddhism, is that the sages, the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the sages, give us the instructions freely. They don't discriminate. They say, I teach you more because I like you. No, it's the same teaching for everyone. Okay, there's no discrimination whatsoever. In order to help all of you leave confusion. Question: why don't we simply teach like the Hinayana and Mahayana like the Buddha? Why not? Because remember, Mahayana people is to help those who have the potential to make it. If you don't have the potential, then we plant the seeds for you, for that the seeds in the future will sprout in the future. So you're planting in you the potential for you, the potential for greatness in you. So far, so good. And it could be considered religion and so forth, because, or it gives you access to the spiritual world. 20. Teachings have two categories: 12-fold teachings and schools. Okay, this is Master Jing Liang for you. 12-fold teachings, the 12 divisions, sutras, 12 divisions. We go into that later. They talk about predictions. They talk about teaching without being requests and so forth. Those are types of proses, verses, repetitions, interjections, and so forth. Those 12 divisions. Or you can divide them into great or small vehicles, and we'll go into the 10 treasuries chapter. It will be clearer in the 10 treasuries chapter. It's a lot to cover if we ever go to the 10 treasuries chapter. Number 2, second category would be the schools: Tiantai School, Xianshou School, Dharma Mark School, Consciousness Only School, etc. So these different schools are how they classify the Buddhist teaching in a way that they understand, the Bodhisattvas understand. For example, Maitreya Bodhisattva is a founder of the Consciousness Only School, Madhyamika, or Weishu, Chinese Weishu. And it turns out when I was started studying and practicing, it is said that Madhyamika, or Consciousness Only School, is one of the highest schools, the most sophisticated schools in Buddhism. And that's not true. That came from the Indians. Indian Buddhism, they have these schools. The Consciousness Only School, Yoga-Gara, whatever. And so they have these schools here, and Consciousness Only School is one thing that was advocated by the Indians. And then the Chinese came over to India to learn from the Indians and brought it back, and they also repeated the same thing. They said Consciousness Only School is the most advanced school in Buddhism, one of the more advanced schools in Buddhism. Actually, I read a few of the treatises in Consciousness School. I found them to be pretty unimpressive. Okay, so this is to tell you the Chinese Buddhism is extremely, extremely sophisticated. The teachings, the Chinese teachings, Chinese Mahayana teachings are incredible. That's why, to me, if you spend your life studying, I would study Chinese Mahayana. Okay, it's just a hint for you. I wouldn't even bother Indian, because Chinese Buddhism is so impressive, so vast, so profound. And in the future, we have to go back to the Chinese store to learn from them. And I'm challenging you, maybe make it English Mahayana, more profound than Chinese Mahayana. How is that? Okay? For that, we need more of you to become bodhisattvas, high-level bodhisattvas. Okay? It would be so cool. But for now, I feel the Chinese Mahayana is incredible. We have so much to learn from them. Okay? Don't forget that. Learn Chinese, please. Okay? And you Chinese people, you Chinese-speaking people, you have to do chant quickly so that you open your wisdom so that you can begin to study your own treasures. Now the Chinese, they get degrees from U.S. universities and world universities and neglect their own treasure of wisdom. Too bad. Okay, 21. The teaching schools, they're endless because the Buddha's teaching can be categorized and classified into different schools. And because the Buddha, when he explained the Dharma to the humans, it's for a wide audience. That's why his teaching is very expensive, like a cloud of Dharma, and therefore you can choose to go very high or go very low, depending on your preferences. Okay? And the Buddha's, you study the Buddha's teachings is in order to unfold your wisdom. When you have wisdom, it's called the light of wisdom. You your wisdom as you practice Buddhism. Ultimately, your wisdom will be boundless. Your joy will be boundless. Your attainment will be boundless. There's no limits to it. Okay? And because your wisdom is boundless, you will also develop unobstructed eloquence or wondrous eloquence. Wu Ai Bian. Okay? There's a Wu missing here. So you have this eloquence here, eloquence of the bodhisattvas. When you talk about eloquence in Mahayana, it's usually a bodhisattva dharma, because bodhisattva is supposed to expound on the dharma, okay, to make it appear more appealing to you. So, like Master YongHua, his eloquence is incredible. You can listen to him, and you keep on listening, and so much joy listening to him. Why? Because he has something called Wu Ai Bian, wondrous eloquence. You break them down. Wondrous eloquence has 4 aspects of eloquence. Eloquence of phrasing, eloquence of dharmas, eloquence of meanings, eloquence of delight in speech. And let's go through them quickly. When you talk about eloquence of phrasing, okay, it's about using of the choice of words, of the language, okay, so that you speak the Dharma and you use the vocabulary, you use the skills, literary skills, so that it's well stated and very pleasant to listen to, so that people love to listen to it. Okay, it's very pleasant to listen to. Okay, it's not boring at all. There's eloquence of dharmas, meaning that you talk about one dharma and then you expound it into many, many dharmas. And that's what is meant by the depth of Buddhism. When you talk about one thing, talk about let's say, a Dharma of patience, okay, then you can expound patience on in so many aspects, infinitely. That's the kind of wisdom you're going to have. So the eloquence, you can expound on each Dharma infinitely. So that's why eloquence of Dharmas. So you can go from one concept to many, or many concepts be grouped back, summarized back to one. And so that's why when you listen to Master Hsuan teachings, you see how his teaching is so simple. Okay? He says, sit longer. The Dharma of sitting longer in Chan. Okay? Actually, when you sit longer, when you practice it at Dharma, okay, and actually it can evolve into many, many more Dharmas. So that's why the instruction is so simple. It can be so simple. Whereas the people who have no such wisdom, no such eloquence, they said, in order for you to sit, like Xu Yun, for example, he said when he teaches Chan, you see his treatise on Chan teaching, he says, in order to teach Chan, to practice Chan, number one, you must have long-term thinking, long-term goals. Okay? You need to have persistence. You need to have He listed about 10. I read that article a long, long time ago. And I'm stupid. I cannot remember 10. Anything more than 1, I can't remember. Especially with Alzheimer's, the oncoming of Alzheimer's, is getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, so the point here is that my entire life, I hate it when I have to memorize. So that's because Xu Yun lacks the eloquence of the Dharma, okay, of the meanings. Because one Dharma, one meaning, can be expounded into many, many meanings. So these teachers who have real eloquence can keep on talking forever. They can talk about boundless principles. That's number 3, eloquence. Okay? And number 4, okay? All these are together, by the way, and not the 1 and 4, or 4 and 1, delight in speech. The point here is that what's the point in learning a Dharma? You don't enjoy it. You enjoy listening to it. You enjoy discovering it. You enjoy understanding it. You enjoy understanding the deeper meaning of it. You understand the implications of it. Okay? So this is so much pleasure. Okay? So delightful to listen to the Dharma. And also, not only the joy for you to listen, but also for the speaker. The speaker enjoys speaking the Dharma. Why do you enjoy it? They enjoy speaking the Dharma? Because the joy is that to use the Dharma, to choose a Dharma that works for the audience. And you see the results. That they enjoy it. And they get the benefits from the Dharma. And they improve. That's why it makes a difference for you to listen in person. This is why when the Buddha spoke the Dharma, the Mahasattva, the Bodhisattvas, they all came listening in rapture because they're there. That's why the Buddha spoke the Dharma that's beneficial for them. And that's part of the sudden teaching. That's fun for the Buddha to say, oh, look at that guy. He got it. Yeah. He improved by listening. So that's one thing that I asked you earlier. I said, what did these guys do that's right in order to get the 4th stage Arhat? Listen to Dharma. That's very important. The key part, they need to listen to the Dharma. It's something else, but have to listen. Okay? And it's very important to understand you don't listen to any junk. You listen to the proper things, the proper Dharma. Because you listen to junk, you have junk in your garage. You have to be very selective. Okay? Don't be the worldly approach is that I want to listen more, I listen more of this. No. You got to be very selective. Just like once you have this bread and butter, you spread the butter and you eat and say, wow, this is good. Okay? Once you have that, you no longer are greedy for any bread, any kind of butter. You say, I've seen it. I'm not greedy anymore. You understand? Okay. Because you're not greedy for, Yes, number 2. Yeah.
Master, for those of us who doesn't understand English, by listening to the translation of yours, do they get the same benefits as listening to your own voice?
Yeah. Some. It depends. You cannot say like I'm Korean and Sang-Buk's translation today she's delayed by 3 minutes. Whatever Master says, I have to wait for 3 minutes for the translation. It doesn't matter. It's not just understanding alone. There's a lot more going on than just understanding. Okay, understanding is secondary. It helps, but it's not the most important thing. Q&A.
Hello. Thank you, Master. I have 2 questions. My first one is I'm trying. Is it echoing for you guys as well, or?
No, we're fine here.
I'm trying to find time to bow, and I realize that when I get off work, like at 1, 2 in the morning, I have a lot of energies, but sometimes I don't like bowing because I feel dirty and I can't shower because I live in a house with other people. I was just wondering if it's okay to bow, not clean.
Yeah. You do the best you can. Remember this afternoon, earlier in the Chan class, I told you life is about 2 things, 2 aspects of cultivation. Number 1 is that make a living so that you have the chance to cultivate. Okay, that's your reality. And then number 2, once you have enough a chance to cultivate, then you have to know how to cultivate. And that's both. Cultivation is both. A worldly, make a living, and number 2, know how to cultivate spiritually. Okay, so that's what cultivation is about. You cannot say, I just cultivate, because how can you cultivate without eating? How can you cultivate without sleeping? How can you cultivate without taking a shower? So it's about being patient, okay? And accrue enough support so that you can cultivate spiritually. All right? So you still learn, you still listen, but when it's not time yet, you patiently wait. What's the second question?
I've been wanting to listen to Master YongHua's Medicine Master Sutra, but I don't know how I feel about their translation they have on Spotify. Someone's translating on Spotify, so is it going to be
there's some echo, some transmission problems here. Okay, sorry, it's not clear. But if you're asking about Master YongHua's translations, I would highly recommend using his disciples' translation to English. They're very, very good. Okay, that's plenty good for you. caveat for all of you, when you want to go much high level, you have to go to ours. Okay, my teachings, because they're missing on their translations on the high level dharmas that Master YongHua taught all of us. Okay, but for you in particular, personally, their translation is good enough, so I would use their resources. I don't mind recommending their resources. They did a good job for low-level people. Okay, it's still far better quality than all the other English translations from the professors, from the commercial people, and so forth. They were nowhere near the quality that Master YongHua set at his temples. So it's a great achievement in my mind. Okay, so use that. Okay, and don't have to be discriminatory. Whatever he teaches, whatever you can put your hands on, listen and listen and listen over and over again, and hopefully in the future, maybe more will become available, and my disciples would then have more. When they run out of things to do, then they will do the translation themselves. Would be higher quality. Okay? All right. Time is up, everyone. Thank you all. I will stop here tonight and do the rebirth transference. Thank you all. Bye-bye.